So a short trailer about all the workshop and masterclass that we have done in the past, where we have built with many companies and many institutions, from a university, from a corporate, from a science institution. We working with them, we have developed a method that we decide to formalize within the School of Vision, and to synthesize it into the masterclass, which will be really a 4 days moment where you will dive into how to shape a vision, how to understand how the people that came before us shape the present we are living in, and how to imagine the future. But first of all, let's try to answer the main question about this presentation. Yes, the forum is upside down because the idea is that, as you can read, the future is detached from the past. What does that mean? It means that we are living in an epoch where it's very hard to understand and to drive the present. It's very hard to make hypotheses about the future based on what happened on the past. Well, you might think that this is something very normal because maybe we are living in this moment since few years, maybe some decades. But actually, for the human being, this is a really a unique experience that we as civilization are experiencing right now, because it never happened in the past that the acceleration and the changing and the technology and the social challenge are moving so fast. We read every day that we are living in a complex time that has many challenges coming from the outside of ourselves, but also from the inside. So, of course, this epoch is if I can give a metaphor, it's like we cannot drive anymore looking at the rear mirror. We have to understand and imagine what's happening in front of us. But back in the day, and for so many years, we as human civilization, we have been trained to think about the future, looking at the past, and this is something that we have within our DNA, and this is something that we have the tendency to do. We try always to guess what is going to happen, thinking about what already happened. We know that the future is uncertain, but we try to find some kind of statistics, some kind of number, some kind of a rational analysis about the past to understand what's about the future. Well, this is not possible anymore right now, because we, as we were saying, live in a very complex time. We have instability. If we talk about our internal world, we live in a world of instability, a world of dependency, a world of inequality, a world where new global narratives are happening in every moment. We can see how in the geopolitical scene things are shifting very fast. We live in a complex world, which means that many different elements are connected together, and it's absolutely impossible to predict how this interaction is happening and how this will develop. Of course, technology is a big thing. In artificial intelligence, not only changing the way we work, but it's also changing the way we create, is changing the way we think about ourselves, the way we have a relationship with ourselves. We know that many people are using artificial intelligence as a new psychology to understand the human being better, but this is a challenge that we are not used to face, and we need new tools to understand this. We really need to get closer to our inner world, to get closer to our intimacy, and face the challenge that not only come from outside, but also come from the inside. So we know that hyperstimulation coming from technology is a big problem. Alienation is also a trend if we work in an environment that doesn't reflect and doesn't really mirror what we are inside. Attention span is a thing. Instant gratification also is a big problem we are facing within ourselves, within our intimacy. So all of those are challenges that are coming from outside and are coming from inside. And we are used to face the challenge the way we have been told, but not necessarily this is something that will work tomorrow. So the main idea, really, to give you a brief explanation about visionary thinking, and maybe Olivier, this is a way of answering in a very quick way your question. Developing a vision means that you are able to understand the world that is around you, that you're able to get what the German people call the Zeitgeist, which is the spirit of the time, which means what's happening around us and which are the main ideas that are driving our world and our present. So having an understanding of this is crucial in this moment, because otherwise the world outside is too complex and we are not able to face it in a way that we can actually transform it, because the vision is a vision if it's able to transform the world and to give a shape to the world that is outside ourselves. But how we do it, and this is the main difference between visionary thinking and design thinking. The way we do it when we are able to access to our visionary mind is to develop and express our internal world, which means that each one of us has a unique mix and set of quality tools that he developed. Vision of how the world should be, how we should be into the world, and of course it's very hard most of the time to not conform to what our daily life is asking us to conform. It's very hard to not pretend to be in a way that is helping us to behave and to stay in the world outside. And this balance between the external world and the internal world is a very delicate balance. And each one of us find his own way out to understand how to live a life where we can grow. But developing a vision is something different. It means that you bring those two direction to another level. You really take time to understand the zeitgeist of your time, to understand what's happening around you, and even to face if the zeitgeist is sick, as someone write in the chat, to take the courage to understand how what's happening now will evolve in the future. It's not the first time that in history we have a very scary moment. We have a moment full of challenge, which are not only personal challenge but also collective challenge. So I'm not saying that we know how to solve it, but we are here means that some people before us did solve it. What's different is that now is the time to also give space and express our internal world. And when we are able to match those two directions, those two different drive, we create a space where vision can happen. And when vision appear, this is the time where we are really able to put the world which is within ourselves outside ourselves and shape the world, the community, the people, and the market, whatever is in our surrounding. So very quickly, we will go deeply into the masterclass about this. This is just a brief introduction, but the idea is that if you take the prototype of a visionary mind, the visionary mind can do many different things which apparently are not linked together. And sometimes one person might be an expert of storytelling, another person might be an expert of decision making. Well, the visionary mind is able to take all these things together in a complex way, and is able to actually produce something which is unique. It's coming from the inner world, and it's able to shape the world outside. So for sure sense making, future thinking, complexity management, transformation management. All of those are crucial aspect of the visionary mind. But I think we can dive in a little bit more, and this is something we will spend a lot of time to understand it. And visionary thinking, it means to bring together different way of thinking. So basically the idea, the way we as the School of Vision, the way we shape our methodologies, to understand that if you're able to grasp fundamental elements of your cognitive way of understanding the world, and you're able to mix them together and to let those different parts work together, which means systemic thinking, which means how to understand pattern outside yourself, how to understand complexity, how to see things that develop and evolve from a situation which seems chaotic, and actually there is order hidden within this situation. Where this is a systemic thinking, few people around the world are born with this kind of intelligence. The rest of us needs to train ourselves, and there is a way to train to see complexity. Like when you see a flock of bird in the sky and you recognize a kind of pattern and order about what you're looking. Well, this is something. It's not only happening with the birds; it's happening in every instant, in every moment in our life, in our existence, and the ability to recognize it is one of the crucial aspect of the visionary mind. Then, of course, we have the visual thinking and the symbolic thinking, which somehow they connect together. It means that you don't let the rational and analytical mind to rule above the other function that you have within yourself, which doesn't mean be more emotional, less rational. This is, of course, a basic way of understanding, is a whole battle. But here the point is that what we learn from the artists, and we are lucky because at Spazio Taverna we work with the most important international artists and Italian artists around the world, and so we have the opportunity to look within the brain of the artist and understand how their brain operate, how they create vision in every single artwork, in every single project they develop. So visual thinking is a kind of an intelligence that is very crucial when you need to imagine the future, because you cannot think about the future. It will never be right, but you can imagine it. And imagining in the future, you can actually have the opportunity to shape through your imagination. Same way, symbolic thinking, it means to understand that there are symbols all around us, that we have a symbolic intelligence that is able to understand the world in a different way. We know symbol without knowing that we know. For example, an apple, everybody know what it's about. It can be Adam and Eve, it can be Apple, the company, but everybody, when they see a certain logo, a certain symbol, they reconnect their mind to a multi-layer degree of information. So the idea of symbol, the idea of symbolic thinking, is that you can access through a symbol to different kind of understanding that you will not be able to extract just with your rational mind. And then we have interpretive thinking, which is simply the ability to make storytelling, which means that you look the world around you and you are able to create a story about what you're looking. And we know, and the anthropologist knows, that actually all our existence is just a storytelling, because if you look it from a nihilist point of view, is we are just a mass of atoms traveling in the universe. But actually our being, our existence, and the peculiarity of the human being is that he's able to narrate, to make storytelling about our life and the life of our species. So the interpretive thinking is a crucial one for who wants to shape not only your own life and understand your own life, and being also able to a certain degree to change your past through a new storytelling, a new narrative that you give to things that happen in your past that can actually shape your future, but also having a storytelling about your organization, about your project, about your society. It can really change, it can really shape the people and the community you have within you, you have around you. And the storytelling is able actually to collect energy together and go in a direction of a vision that you have. And of course, the last one, which somehow bring together all of those intelligence, is the future thinking. So the ability to imagine different kind of future, which doesn't mean to predict the future. That's, we know it's impossible. But we know that we can imagine the future, and we know that if we have a strong enough imagination and we are able to develop our visionary thinking, our own imagination can actually shape the future that is coming. So this was a very brief introduction to the visionary thinking, and please ask as many questions as you want. Of course, we don't have time to go in detail in each one of these topic, and many more topics are related to the visionary thinking, to the ability to shape a vision. But we just wanted to give you a little taste of what is the School of Vision about. Talking about the masterclass in these last few minutes before the end of the presentation, I would like to tell you a little bit of spoiler what will happen for those of you that will join us in Rome. So we will have 3 different moments in the 4 days that we will be together. Some theoretical moment where we will dive in different theory, as we have just done in a very brief way. Then we will have the encounter with some expert about vision. What does it mean to be an expert about vision? Of course, we don't really have the prototype of the visionary. This is a theoretical person, but we have person that is able to express their internal world and shape the world around them, especially in a such complex environment, in a such like Rome, which is a very ancient place, in a place where the past is much more important than the future. So therefore, if you're able to really say something, do something about the future, and actually do it and shape it, your present, you're really doing something incredible and extraordinary, because your challenge is way bigger than the challenge of someone who starts from scratch. So very quick spoiler about what you will see. We will discuss about the architecture of power. So maybe you know the architecture that are in Washington, you know the architecture that are in London. All of these come from the idea of an empire that was built in Rome by the Roman, and then there is this idea on how architecture is really able to shape not only space and to redefine how people are living, but also shape ideas. And we will make a tour in Rome, in a special place which is Eur, which is a neighborhood design for the Expo during the beginning of the last century. And especially we will get to know a headquarter of creative company that decide to take to start for their global venture in Rome into the this what we call the Colosseo Quadrato, which is the Palazzo della Civiltà Italiana, and it's as I say a rationalist building that is part of a design of a new kind of architecture that was shaping the beginning of the century. Then we will visit an innovation district, which is a very huge piece of portion of the city of Rome, a neighborhood where an entire area has been requalified by different companies that are taking the area and transforming it into an innovation district for sustainable mobility, and trying to change the shape of a piece of a city through the innovation, through research and development, through idea and way of looking at the future in a different way. So it's a vision of a district, it's a vision of a city that is changing from the little part that is happening inside. Then, of course, we cannot talk about Rome without talking about the Colosseum, which seems to be the same since 2000 years, but actually there are a group of architects, a studio that we will talk with that is doing a contemporary valorization of the Colosseum, and I will try to explain us how can you operate a vision of future within a place that is iconic, probably the most important monument in the world. And of course, how hard is to change it, how hard is to have an idea and change the shape, and how you should behave and deal with things that have enormous power coming from the past, but needs our attention, needs our vision to go in the future. And last, we will talk about language of symbolic. We will have on Saturday a long tour, a grand tour in the city center of Rome, looking for many little spot, big and little spot about contemporary vision, contemporary art, contemporary architecture that is happening now in Rome in public space. And we will also try to understand living the city from within, how the city was shaped by the vision of people, from a pope and emperor that designed it on paper, and they were really actually able then to develop and to realize it. So we will have a much broader program. I just wanted to give you some hints and tips, but it will be 4 days, full 2 full days with theory in the morning and meeting and encounter and experience and visiting in the afternoon, with special special event during the night with artists and to create this School of Vision community together with the people that are joining the masterclass. And then the last 2 days, one which is dedicated to the grand tour of Rome, as I just tell you, and the last one, which is a morning to close and synthesize and look at everything that we have developed and the challenge and everything else that we have learned from this experience. So this is a really brief explanation and exposure of what is the School of Vision, what's visionary thinking, and what you will experience once you will be in Rome. So I really hope to meet you in person in the next months in Rome. We have few minutes. If you have any question, any curiosity, please don't hesitate to write in chat. So Livia is asking if there are some participant the School of Vision. Yeah, I think, Livia, there are some participants that already enrolled to the School of Vision. What about the accommodation? So we, for those who are joining the School of Vision, we will send a list of accommodation which are helpful in the sense that Rome is a very big city, and we will try to guide you to whatever it's a reasonable accommodation for any kind of experience you want in Rome that is close to all the things that all the place and all the things that we will explore. So accommodation, restaurant, place, and tips about Rome for making those 4 days the best of with your visit here in Rome. You will have 2 free, 1 free morning and 1 free afternoon on Saturday and on Sunday, also to give you the opportunity to go around. Yes, we will share with you all the information you need. Livia is also asking, I'm from Rome. I'm wondering if the first School of Vision can be beneficial for me or would be more inspiring as CD. I know less. Well, what I can say is that Rome is a big city, and we are trying really to extract things that also for the Roman is special things. We will bring you in place and meeting people that usually are not open to the public, and usually unless you don't know them directly, it's quite impossible to have a discussion with or to visit. And also the fundamental idea of the School of Vision and of Spazio Taverna as a curatorial studio is that we think that vision appear and emerge when you intersect different world, different backgrounds. So you will meet with architects, you will meet with industrial people, you will meet with artists, you will meet with geopolitical experts. So you will meet many different point of view about visionary thinking, about understanding the world outside and expressing the world within, which I think that even if you belong to one of those field, it will be a very round experience to get to know all the other field and all the other people and all the part of Rome which belong to those field, and connect them together. So no, there is no dress code. It's casual. We don't. As I say, we not only will bring together for you different field, but also the participants are coming from different field. We know that designers are joining, artists are joining, people from manager, people from industry are joining, entrepreneurs are joining. So therefore, a dress code will be very complicated to bring everybody on the same page. Okay, in terms of career, it can allow us to some new and direct opportunities. So basically, the idea is that the School of Vision, it has for how we design it as a double opportunity for whoever is joining. First of all, is a 4 days. Let me say time space capsule where you will. We hope you will get outside your comfort zone. You will get outside of your daily life, and you will really able to understand where are you now in your moment in life, and which kind of shift of career you need to do if this is the moment for you. If you need to work and behave differently to the place you are working now, or if it's the moment to actually express yourself in something that can be really generative and can be something that is more personal, is more entrepreneurial, is more expressing from yourself to the outside and not the opposite way around. On the other side, you will get to know many different words. So of course, this is a plus if you are thinking about a shifting career, because I will help you if you want to understand which is the new steps that you can take in your career, and which kind of opening, which kind of things you need to understand and to learn to go in another career. But mainly, the point is that is both a professional experience and an intimate experience. So the idea, and answering back to the first question of Olivier about design thinking, it's design thinking is about solving problem, and vision is about creating problems somehow. It's about opening door which you didn't know was possible, and hopefully it can really give meaning to this phase of your life. So I hope I was able to give answer to whoever had some doubts. I see that there are no more question. If you have any question coming in the next hour, in the next days, please don't hesitate to text to Alice or Valeria, which I really thanks that are my partner in this journey. You will meet them here in Rome, probably. For whoever will join, we will make a webinar, private webinar, to introduce each one of us before the starting, to warm up a little bit. So when we come in Rome, you will at least have seen each one at least once, and you will have the chance to meet Alice and Valeria. Creating and solving your own problems sounds like a good combo. Yes, that's what we actually doing all the time in our life without knowing it. So the point is to develop the tool that can really enable us to do it in a more sharp way. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to attend to this webinar. Quickly, just present myself at the end, because Livia asked me, but maybe I should have done it at the beginning. School of Vision is a project of Spazio Taverna, which is a curatorial studio. which was founded by Ludovico Pratesi, which is an art critic, and myself. And the idea is that to contaminate a different world. I am an industrial engineer, which I train myself as a curator during the year, working with architects, working with artists, working with art critic and curator, and now what I'm doing in Spazio Taverna is the management part, the entrepreneurial part, and the curatorial part. So basically, the School of Vision is a natural byproduct of Spazio Taverna, since we are dealing with vision every single day, because we work with artists, we work with big projects around the world, with municipality, with artists, with scientists, with visionary entrepreneur. We have we got to the point to understand how the visionary mind works, because we see it every day in the real visionary around the world, and therefore we decide to create this school which can actually teach to people which don't have the luck like we have to get to be closer to visionary, and try to formalize. So I think that the way Spazio Taverna was born from the encountering of an engineer and an art critic is exactly the point of the School of Vision. So blending and bringing different way of thinking, different mind, and different world together. And I see myself, I see my journey like inevitable, because I spend all my year until now studying science, studying philosophy, studying art, being an engineer, and now I see that all those things actually connect together, and that's how we are shaping the School of Vision method. I hope, Livia, I give you a quick answer. If you decide to join, we will have a lot of time to also share your journey and your background, and we will do the same. And I hope to see you in Rome. Thank you.